I just mean that it's no longer 1937. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
Rachel Zegler, the rising star who enchanted audiences in West Side Story, now finds herself at the center of Disney's latest and possibly biggest controversy. But what went so wrong? Could the backlash she's facing after being cast in Disney's live-action Snow White actually cost her the role? And how did a beloved fairy tale transform into a public relations nightmare? Stick around as we unravel the controversy and explore what this means for Disney and Rachel's future.
My best friend, and she's the one who sent me the casting notice and said, "Thank me when you're famous." It's the craziest thing ever that it came true in that weird way, and that's why I bring her everywhere, and she's the best ever. But yeah, I put myself on tape. It's the worst tape you've ever seen in your life. I have no idea.
In 2021, Rachel Zegler was announced as the new Snow White in Disney's ambitious $290 million live-action remake of the classic 1937 film. Fresh off her critically acclaimed performance in West Side Story, Zegler seemed to have all the makings of a modern Disney princess, youth, talent, and an incredible singing voice. But what seemed like a fairy tale casting quickly turned into a storm of controversy. During promotional interviews, Rachel made bold statements about the remake. She described the original Snow White as dated and emphasized that the new film would be a modern reimagining, steering away from traditional portrayals of romance and gender roles.
Seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag.
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my God, well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane, and then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker.
While her comments resonated with some who applauded Disney's attempt at updating its narratives, others saw it as a direct insult to the beloved classic. Fast forward to 2024, when Disney finally dropped the much-anticipated full trailer for Snow White. What should have been a moment of celebration for fans and the studio turned into a backlash like no other. Critics were quick to slam the film's apparent departure from its roots, the heavy-handed modern messaging, and even the visual style of the production. Social media was flooded with complaints about the tone of the trailer and the changes to the original story. Many felt the reimagined Snow White lacked the magic and timeless appeal that made the 1937 version iconic. Others expressed concerns about the decision to rewrite central elements of the plot, particularly downplaying the romantic storyline with the prince. It wasn't just the fans who were upset. Some insiders speculated that even Disney executives were divided about the film's direction. But while the movie faced criticism as a whole, Rachel Zegler became the focal point of much of the outrage.
I did. It was so fun. Oh my God, as a huge Disney fan, it was so exciting to finally get to go to D23. Yeah. I live on the East Coast, so I was never able to go, and also tickets sell out like in a flash. So it was so exciting to go, and my mom was super jealous because my mom is the reason I'm a Disney fan.
Her earlier interviews, where she dismissed the original film's charm, resurfaced and fueled the fire. Comments like, "We're not doing the 1937 version," and her critique of Snow White's passive role rubbed some longtime Disney fans the wrong way. Now, the backlash has escalated to rumors that Disney is considering firing Zegler altogether. Some reports suggest that the studio is unhappy with how the controversy has overshadowed the movie's promotional campaign, while others claim internal sources have cited her as divisive among the fan base.
Like that for a lot of us. It's easier for me than it was for Tom because I wasn't playing a character that had already existed in the previous films. And those performances are so wonderful that you don't want to try to recreate anything because there's the fear of failing miserably. But also it's 64 years before the original films take place, the original books, and Francis Lawrence, who directed Catching Fire and both Mockingjay films, and Nina, who produced all of the Hunger Games content, they didn't put any pressure on us to try to recreate anything.
While no official statement has been made, the speculation has taken on a life of its own, further adding to the drama. This isn't just a Rachel Zegler issue, it's part of a larger pattern for Disney. In recent years, the studio has faced increasing criticism for its live-action remakes. Many fans argue that these films fail to capture the magic of their animated predecessors while coming off as cash grabs with unnecessary changes. Add to that the mounting pressure of declining box office numbers and audience fatigue, and you have a recipe for disaster. Movies like The Little Mermaid and Mulan face similar backlash for reimagining beloved classics, but Snow White seems to have struck a particularly sensitive nerve. Could this film mark a tipping point for Disney, forcing them to reconsider their approach to remakes? So, what does Rachel Zegler think about all this? While she hasn't directly addressed the firing rumors, she's remained active on social media, posting cryptic messages that some interpret as responses to the backlash. She's also defended her stance on updating Snow White to reflect modern values, saying she believes in creating stories that resonate with today's audiences. but the court of public opinion remains divided. Some see her as a progressive voice trying to modernize outdated narratives, while others accuse her of disrespecting a beloved classic. It's a tightrope act, and only time will tell how it plays out for her career. As for Disney, they're in a precarious position. With so much invested in the project, scrapping it or recasting the lead would be an unprecedented move. But releasing the film as is might risk alienating their core audience even further. This puts the studio at a crossroads, forcing them to navigate between pleasing modern audiences and honoring their legacy. Insiders suggest that Disney may double down on its marketing to counteract the negativity, but will that be enough to salvage Snow White's image before its release? And if the film fails, what does that mean for the future of live-action remakes? The Snow White saga serves as a crucial case study in the evolving relationship between creators and audiences. Over the years, Disney has held a unique position as the keeper of childhood nostalgia. But with changing times come new expectations, and balancing innovation with tradition has proven to be more challenging than ever. One key takeaway is the importance of respecting the core elements of what made these stories beloved in the first place. While updating narratives for modern sensibilities is admirable, dismissing the original material risks alienating longtime fans. For many, these films are more than just entertainment. They're a cherished part of their cultural history. Social media has also played a pivotal role in amplifying the controversy. Rachel Zegler's comments, while likely well-intentioned, were dissected, debated, and in some cases, taken out of context by critics and supporters alike. Platforms like Twitter and TikTok can magnify even minor missteps, turning them into headline-grabbing events. This isn't the first time an actor has faced backlash over comments about a beloved franchise. Actors in high-profile roles walk a fine line, as their words can easily be interpreted as representative of an entire production. The lesson? Clear communication and careful messaging are essential when working with legacy properties. Perhaps the solution lies not in retelling old tales, but in crafting new ones. Original films like Encanto and Frozen have proven that Disney still has the ability to create timeless stories that resonate with audiences worldwide. Could this be the wake-up call Disney needs to shift focus back to innovation? At the end of the day, the Snow White controversy is a reminder of how deeply stories and characters can impact us. They're more than just films, they're cultural touchstones that shape our imaginations and values. While Rachel Zegler's journey with Snow White may be uncertain, it's clear that the conversation around the film has struck a chord with audiences. Whether you're Team Rachel or a diehard fan of the original Snow White, one thing's for sure, this controversy isn't going away anytime soon. So, what do you think? Should Disney stand by Rachel Zegler and their modern reimagining of Snow White, or is it time to hit reset? Let us know in the comments below. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.